I'm currently living the season that I have prayed and worked so hard for, you know? Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome for the first time because I have never actually introduced myself to the camera. I've never talked to the camera alone in my room, but there's a first for everything. So hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Kristen and I'm very happy that you're here. And I'm happy that we can chit chat, we can talk, and I can share my story with you. I wanted to reflect on what life has taught me so far because I've already lived a quarter of it. So this is what we're going to be talking about today in the video. Let's get into it. So here are 8 lessons I learned during my COVID year. So I'll give you the 411 on my life right now. I am currently in a PT program, which is for physical therapy. So basically, I am in charge of figuring out how the body moves. And in order to learn how the body moves, I need to figure out what your brain does. I've learned that your brain is able to do this thing called neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is the ability for your brain to change and grow based on new experiences that you have. You need to experience all that life has to offer. And I know that this is hard because it can be really uncomfortable a lot of the time. Heck, most of the time it's really uncomfortable. And I know myself, I have struggled with that uncomfortableness, is that even a word? I have dealt with that feeling of not wanting to be outside of this little bubble that we're in, of everything that we know and everything we're familiar with. Not knowing what's gonna happen can cause a lot of anxiety, which can make change really scary. But honey, it's inevitable, so you're gonna have to deal with it, so you might as well get good at it, right? I know this is basic and I know everyone says this, but mindset is everything. How you look at change and how you view change can really impact how it affects you. If you look at change as something that can be very beautiful and be an opportunity to become this better and amazing person, is something that has really helped me deal with change. I think holding on to something that isn't meant to stay the same can be very detrimental and painful for a lot of us. That's what causes a lot of hardship with this transitioning and just being in your 20s and just having all this change around you with relationships and careers and responsibilities. And oh my gosh, now I have to freaking figure out how to get my own health insurance at 26 next year. Like, what? You just have to trust in yourself that you can handle that. You can handle things that are unknown and you've gone through them before and you've survived before. I really reflected on this lesson because I am currently in grad school and it is freaking hard. I have these moments where I'm just like, bruh, come on, like, I just want to be done with school. I want to just be making money. I don't want to be doing this anymore. I want my own place. I want to do all this stuff. And it is something that I really reflected on because I just realized how precious this time that I have right now is. I'm currently living the season that I have prayed and worked so hard for. You know, where I'm at right now is exactly where I wanted to be at a year or 2 ago. And I think that it's something that we often take for granted, the seasons that we're in, because we're just so focused on either what was before and what's coming. So I think it's really important to sit down and enjoy all the ups and downs that the season comes with. Choices and decision making takes energy in your brain. So the more that you have to use your brain to make choices and think about what you want to do, it tires your brain out. All those little decisions that you do in the morning take energy, and it requires energy to do that, which means that later on in the day, your brain is going to be tired from making those decisions. So how are you going to have enough energy to learn about whatever you're learning in class, you know? Versus having a routine, you are consistently doing the same thing. And when you consistently do the same thing, there are these things in your brains called motor patterns that I'm not going to even get into, that it's easier for you to just do the things. It's like when you're driving and you don't even realize you're driving because you just do it so often and you don't even have to think about it. It's like that, which means you have more energy to do the important things that you want to do. Story time. I go to therapy. Yeah, so BetterHelp. I know you be sponsoring everyone, so go ahead and sponsor me too, girl. My therapist told me, because I was struggling real hard in my first semester of PT school. Let's just say we were on the brink of it. Like, I was questioning my life decisions and thinking about what backup plans I was gonna have if this whole PT thing didn't work out, kind of vibes. And not doing well in something that is very important to you can be very difficult to deal with, because I think that imposter syndrome just pops its ugly head and you're just sitting there wondering if you deserve to be in this position, and you are questioning yourself and your life and your capabilities as a person and your place in this world, honestly. I've always just had a pretty toxic relationship when it comes to failure. That just wasn't a thing. You know, you just weren't allowed to fail. I grew up Asian. I had all the riffraffs of just growing up and having those expectations with school. It for sure pushed me to be a good student and work super hard. But I think it's important to remember that life in general is just about adaptability and capability. All the different trials and tribulations that come with the position that you're in is just part of the process. It's just that opportunity to grow and become better. It's important to cheer yourself on and remember that you are capable of pursuing whatever you're trying to pursue and accomplishing that dream that you're trying to achieve, because you wouldn't be in this position if you weren't capable. And it's just adapting to whatever is being asked of you. It makes you just really take a good long look at yourself and really ask yourself why you're doing what you're doing, why you're pushing yourself as hard as you are, and asking if you really want this, you know. The world does not revolve around you. I know this one is a little bit more tough love, kind of just blunt. I think it's very easy to just focus on yourself and take everything personally. I often got really offended with certain things with my relationships. If they acted a certain way or they said a certain thing to me, I often took it as they don't like me anymore, or I said something wrong, or we're not close anymore. And in reality, they were just having a bad day. And in reality, they were just focused on other things, and they had other things in their mind. And everyone is just focused on themselves, and no one is thinking about you in particular. Everyone has their own life. Everyone has their own problems. Everyone has their own thoughts and emotions that they're dealing with. It's never because of you. It's not you, it's me. Literally, it's not you, it's me. And I think it gives everyone that you interact with more grace, and it allows you to not take things so personally, so you don't get offended by it and you can just enjoy yourself and they can just enjoy themselves. Being in my mid-20s has shown me that adult friendships are very difficult. And it's something that was for sure a transition coming from living with all my best friends to now everyone is just moved out and doing their own thing. It's just totally different aspects of life, and it's always difficult to make time and find time where everyone is free. I think it was just hard for me to not be in the loop of life for them, and it was hard for me to realize that there are just some things that I won't hear about until a year later. There's just some things that I'm gonna miss out on, and that's okay, and that doesn't mean my friendship is any less. I thought that true friendship, good friendships, meant that you constantly had to see each other and you constantly had to spend time with each other and you constantly had to be talking to each other on the phone somehow, or else the friendship would fizzle out and then you guys wouldn't be friends anymore and then the world would end and just blah blah blah. I would have no more friends. But I've realized that true friendship is something that really doesn't matter how many times you talk to each other, because when you guys do talk to each other, it's like you guys never not talk to each other. And true friendships are going to last no matter what season of life that you're in, and some seasons you're going to be a lot closer and some seasons you're not, and that's okay, because when you guys do rekindle and you guys do get to see each other, it's just like the old days, you know. It's easy, it's fluid, and you feel good after talking to them. And I think it's very important, especially around this time frame of life, to be very intentional with who you like to spend your time with, because time is energy, and these are the people that are going to get you through life, and it's important to nurture these. I know life gets busy and life can be hectic, but it's also very important to nurture your relationships and make time for them. I believe this because in the grand scheme of things, when everything plays out and you're looking back on your life, you're only going to remember the relationships that you created and the friendships that you made and those memories. The people that are meant to be in your life and the people who are going to be in your life are going to put in the effort to stay in your life. What I wanted to focus on with this lesson is that what you feed yourself, not just physically like food, but mentally, is something that has a huge impact on your life and a huge impact on how your day is going to be. I wanted to talk about how important it is to watch and be intentional with what you consume on social media, with the things that you are telling yourself, your internal thoughts, with things that you talk about with friends. I think it's important to be intentional with all of those things. I know I personally struggled a lot with my mentality on things and just mental health in general. And it wasn't until I intentionally looked at myself and realized things that I was consuming on social media and things that I was thinking and the kind of thought patterns that I had really played out the kind of life that I was living. You know, if I had negative thoughts, then I was going to have a negative life. And it wasn't until I intentionally looked at myself and told myself to purposely think good things and make it positive really made an impact on how I viewed myself and how I viewed life in general. And I think that we often forget how powerful our own brains are. I think especially during COVID, it was easy for all of us to just get stuck in our heads, and it was easy for all of us to really overthink who we are as people. And your brain and your thoughts are the main source and foundation with how your life plays out. That's just the gist of it. Your mindset is the difference to how good life gets. I think it's easy in life to get super caught up in the mundane of things, the routine of things, working, grinding. I think it's great, and I think hustle culture right now is to the extreme, and everyone wants to just be the best and accomplish everything, have all their dreams come true, which is great, and I totally support that. And I am also trying to do the grind and have all my dreams come true, but I also think that it's important to understand that life is short. In the end of it all, you're going to be old and you're not going to think about how hard you worked or how freaking much you grinded. You're just going to think about the relationships that you had, and you're going to think about the memories that you made. So make the freaking memories. And it's important to also enjoy the journey, and it's important to have things to look forward to, like the trips and the festivals and the fun friend gatherings and all of this stuff. My first year of PT school, I did not let myself have fun, and I just was in the books and I was just grinding and studying all the time, and I always said no to going out and doing things that were fun because I thought that I needed to just slave away and just hate my life because I was just studying constantly and never did anything fun. And lo and behold, I got burnt out. I ended up not doing as good because I did not let myself rest and enjoy life. I was talking to my therapist, and she just reminded me that having that time frame and making that time to remember why you're doing what you're doing and to enjoy the things of life actually end up fueling you to work harder the next time you come back to your work. So actually taking time away from working so hard and pushing yourself actually ends up energizing you to come back stronger and inspires you to work harder because you get reminded of what actually matters in life, so you don't take work or school so seriously all the time. I emphasize this lesson because I am guilty of taking life way too seriously than I need to, and it's important to be goofy and it's important to have fun. And in the grand scheme of things, a lot of the problems and the things I'm stressing about aren't going to matter a week from now. The memories that I'm going to make and the people that I'm going to meet and the love that I'm going to share is what I'm going to value, and those are the core values that I have in my life. And I want to make sure that I intentionally set up time in my calendar through all the chaos and busyness of life to have those moments and to make those memories and to share life and to be just reminded that life is good and that there's all these amazing things and not everything is about school or work. And it keeps things spicy. It keeps you motivated to work harder because you're only going to be this young and you're only going to be this hot for so long. So freaking enjoy it while you can, you know? You're literally just on a floating rock in the middle of the freaking universe. So just do the thing that you want to do and have fun. Those were the 8 lessons that I learned my COVID year. I want to thank you so much for sharing these moments with me. I want to thank you for listening and hearing me out. If you enjoyed it, comment down below if you like these kind of videos, and comment down below what lessons do you guys have for me. If you're older, if you're younger, I'm always open to hear about anything that you have to share. I just like talking about life. I like getting deep like this. Let's get intimate, you know. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in my next video.